The following is a series of spiritual stories from Shrii Anandamurtii, who was also called Baba by his disciples. 1. The Mystery Child. Late on a winter's night in Ranchi in 1971, after returning from his evening field walk, Baba related some early childhood memories to Dada Amitananda. This is a selection of Dada's recollections of Baba's words that night. I am in my mother's womb. From there itself, I am seeing my mother, and I recognize her so well. I see my father, my sister, and my other relations. How well do I know them? And I know their names too. I am born. Normally, children weep at birth. I don't. I am all smiles. I am happy to be born. I want to address persons around me by their names because I know them so very well. But alas, how incapacitated I am. My vocal cord does not permit any voice to come out. They want to feed me. They have put a piece of cotton in a cup containing milk. Drop by drop, the cotton will drip milk into my mouth. How silly of these people. Am I a child to be fed in this manner? I shall drink from the cup, not the cotton. In protest, I raise my hand to hold the cup. They are taken aback at what I have done. I realize that I have done much to perplex them, and I return to being a child just born. I am sleeping by my mother's side. In the dead of night, I am awakened. What I see is so unusual. My entire being, my mother's being, the cot, the room, the space beyond is all full of such a sweet effulgence. I enjoy seeing it. I am lost more and more in it. I wonder what would have happened to my mother had she too seen this all-engulfing light. Often during nights, I awake to see creatures of all kinds and sizes coming out of my left ear and walking and dancing in the space around. I see all this with interest, but as if to end the show, a strange thing occurs. These creatures now crowd near my right ear and enter it. This is so fearsome, and I utter a shout and cling to my mother, who is all confused, to listen to all that I have to tell her. The Unresolved Mystery, first published in Bodhikalpa, January 1975. By the time Baba turned 5, he'd begun his lifelong practice of sitting for meditation early in the morning and again in the evening. No one in the family knew when he had started this practice or how he had learned it, nor would he say, but by then the family had learned to leave the independent-minded young boy alone about such matters. Nearly as unusual was his refusal to eat any non-vegetarian food, despite the fact that his family was not strictly vegetarian. Anandamurtii, the Jamalpur year. 2. Baba's names. When Baba was born and reached for the cup when they tried to drip milk into his mouth, his grandmother Vinapani gasped and exclaimed, "He is not a child. He is a Bara, old soul." From then on, she would call him Bara. And for the rest of his family and childhood friends, Bara was simplified to Bubu. Sometime between the ages of 3 and 5, his birth name was changed from Arun, which means crimson dawn, to Prabhat Ranjan, or he who colors the dawn, because his newly born cousin was named after the Bengali activist Deshabandhu Sita Ranjan Das, who died on the day of his birth, and it was the family custom for all males to have the same middle name. As a young boy, Baba enjoyed walking in the evening to the hills east of Jamalpur, to the old Kali temple on Kalipahar, and to Death Valley, a dangerous place to go in those days, even during the day, what to speak of at night. Many years later, he related, "From my early childhood, I was very courageous. I knew no fear. I used to go to the tiger's grave late at night. One night when I was about 9 years old, I was sitting there after midnight, and I saw that an entity of light was moving towards me. I was not afraid of that entity. That being of light came near me and stopped. I asked that entity, "Who are you?" Then the entity answered, "Don't you know me? I am yourself." After saying this, that entity of light came and merged with me. At that very moment, I had the experience that the entire universe was within me, and I was within every part of the universe. I have gone to Jamalpur Hill for doing sadhana. I am sitting at a particular place when someone tells in my ears, "Come with me. I will show you a better place for sadhana. Follow me." I see no one, but I follow the voice whose presence I feel so clearly. The voice takes me to another place and asks me to do sadhana. After a while, it tells me, "Are you mad? Don't be in Maya. Are you PR Sarkar? See who you are." And a reel of my past lives, my earlier lives, flashes clearly before my eyes, and I realize who I am. The Unresolved Mystery, first published in Bodhikalpa, January 1975. One night in early 1959, I was walking with Baba in the field, which was frequented by his visit every late evening. We were only two persons, and the Lord was in a very gracious, blissful mood that night. He stopped midway and narrated an incident from his early childhood. Lord said, "Once a radiant column appeared before me, engulfing the whole surrounding with its resplendent effulgence. I asked, 'Who are you?' 'Anandamurtii,' came the reply. I then noticed that the luminous existence gradually merged into me. Thenceforth I became Anandamurtii, embodiment of bliss." Acharya Harivalabh. For nearly 3 years after Pranay's initiation, he continued to address Baba as he would a friend or a colleague, calling him Dada or Prabhat Da, though he had now begun to revere him as his guru. One day, while walking in the field, Baba told him that this form of address was not proper between guru and disciple. He should not call him Dada, except in the office or in public, but rather Baba. From then on, Pranay followed this traditional form of address whenever they were alone. Baba instructed the other disciples to do the same. Soon everyone was calling him Baba, even though some of them, such as Kandranath and Nagina, were older than he was. Anandamurtii, the Jamalpur years.